to meet me. I think the pleasure's all mine. They've been clocking me so long, I think they lost time. Ooh, you lost. What you mean? Woo! What you mean? Woo! And now I'm just a so with the what you mean? Woo! Hold up. Whoa. With the what you mean? Woo! Hold up now. Don't know what you think, compare me to. Adrenaline popping, the blood will be leaking and running. Yeah. I do what I do, I don't care if you like it or love it. Tell all of my I got a new girl. Wait. You tell the that I'm in the bank and I want my money in hundreds. I'm tired of living on the edge. I want it.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. As the season winds down, let's take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. Still a lot to play for between now and Wildcard Weekend, and as usual, seeding should wind up playing a major role in determining who goes on to the Super Bowl. It's the Jaguars going up against the Browns.
Just off the shores of Lake Erie, we are at First Energy Stadium in a city aptly named after its founder, Moses Cleveland, way back in 1796. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Cleveland Browns. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They'll be led out by their 6'2" QB out of North Carolina, former number 2 overall pick. It's Mitchell Trubisky.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there was also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Here we go now.
They go play action here on first down. Well, he's going to take a shot right away. And no, incomplete. Boy, they took a shot there on the first play, trying to start it out with a bang. But it's second down. Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down.
All right, now, go! Here we go.
On the carry, here's Marshawn Lynch. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. 10 more there and another first down.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially as pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
The numbers for Jordy from last week. 3 catches, 89 yards.
And most teams mark down big plays as ones that gain 10 yards or more. He certainly has big playability, and we just saw it on display.
Here's Trubisky to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Now let's go. Detroit! Detroit!
On second down, Lynch. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on third down.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
From the shotgun is Trubisky. A bullet throw, but incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. And he is going to feel that one. Knocked down hard. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
They go with Howard again. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. On third down, Rivers. He leaves this one for Howard. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And, you know, their previous possession, they were able to move the football, but still wound up punting in the end.
You know, in 2016, Carolina had a 20-play drive that lasted over 10 minutes. And remember how it ended?
And a punt.
Yeah, I mean, how does that happen? You just don't see that happen every day.
This one maybe not quite that bad, but still, you'd like to have a chance for points if you hold the football that long.
Agreed.
On second down, here's Trubisky. Flush to his right. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw it right into it for an interception.
Following the interception here, Rivers over the middle, complete. It's Sims, and he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. This is Howard on second down. And he is knocked down from the side at the 22-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you can see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
Play fake. Rivers. Losing 6 yards there to bring up 4th. Now Matt Bryant on for the field goal. And this will be a 45-yard attempt. And this one is right down the middle. And the Browns are out to a 3-0 lead. So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us want to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit, taking it over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Lynch busting free. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. They go play action. Trubisky. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
On second down, Trubisky. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now a stoppage, and oh boy, we've got Trubisky shaken up on the play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Second down, sack by the defense. What type of pressure will they bring here on third? We'll see.
Let's go now.
A shotgun snap for Sanchez. Buying time to his left. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Here's Marquette King now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a two-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. On the give, this is their fullback. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be third down.
After a play like that, it should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there. Back with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns with a football to begin quarter number 2. They're staring up at a 3rd and 9 to start it out. They go counter with Howard. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. This up only to about the 33. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
And they go bootleg with Sanchez. Eluding the pressure right. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
And the offense needs 7 out of this play on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Sanchez. Got his target, Samuel. And he's got a 1st down as he's up to the 48. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
1st down, the run with Lynch. And some space here. Lynch busting free. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. Almost unstoppable on the ground there as that one is good for 39.
All right, I've got to be careful here. All right, he's on the plus side of 30. There may be a little gray in the beard, but that's not slowing down his speed as far as he's concerned.
What he's saying, I'm on the plus side of 30.
Well, if you're on the plus side of 30, you don't know what I'm on the plus side of. All I know is that run right there, let us know there's still some life in those legs.
Absolutely, still got a lot of life left in those legs.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play.
Gun! Check! Set! White 18! Half!
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Handoff comes to Lynch. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Kind of running there at your own risk against that 4-3 and that big line, aren't you?
Yeah, and I don't really run it against a good 4-3 team that well because I've got to get those guys on the move a little bit. If you're a static running team, meaning you just want to run it in the middle, you may have some trouble against good defensive tackles. That's what we just saw on that play. No gain.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw, Sanchez. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a 1st down. Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
to begin the drive. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through it.
Now a second down throw for Rivers. And Olsen over the middle. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
They'll try to run for it with Howard. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Jordy Nelson now trotting back out there on offense. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us. But sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Check. Here we go.
On the give, this is Lynch. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
They run again on first down, Lynch. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Here we go.
Getting the call, Lynch running left. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from Cleveland after this. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Here's Marquette King now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. A second quarter score from down in Houston. And the Texans, they have scored again and moved in front by a couple of touchdowns. Sam Bradford with 1 touchdown pass thus far. Rivers now to throw on first down. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
On 2nd down, Rivers again. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Again, it's Rivers. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
On third down, Rivers. Now a hit, and Rivers lost the football. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Here's Jeff Locke now as he's on to punt for Cleveland. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Taking it about the 16. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And our focus now moves to Jordy Nelson. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
Something to get him the ball. We'll see if they can do it. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Back to the air. Sanchez on 2nd down. Looks for Nelson, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Lavonte David. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
On 1st and 10, Rivers. And they've got the hook up. This is Olsen. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. 6 yards here to go for the offense on 2nd down. Working out of the gun, Rivers. Complete to the right. This is Garcon. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It'll be a pickup of only a yard. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. And the 42-year-old veteran's kick is up and good. And 2 field goals now mean they take a rare 6-2 lead. It's a little bit of time left here in the 2nd quarter, but they get the field goal near the end of the first half to expand that lead.
That's got to feel good, but they can't let up. Now on the kickoff, they've got to make sure they don't give up a big return or a big yardage to set up the other team for one last chance to score themselves.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns. Larry, go back to the green room, my friend. These guys are ready to go again. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you termed that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. And the offense moving in the wrong direction here now as they face a 2nd and 12. So the false start will back them up 5. So that'll back them up 5. Again, it's Howard. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Call that 49 yards on the punt. They do get 7 back on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. Right side catch. This is Gates. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Now Sanchez. Being chased out left. Able to power through. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
And this one complete to Jermaine Gresham. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. 23 yards on the play. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. To say they've kept him under wraps running the football, that's an understatement. He's been completely neutralized.
Yeah, they've essentially taken him out of the game, haven't they? And you know all the teams say, we're not going to let him beat us. Well, that's exactly what's happened here. They've lived up to that.
Caught left side, Garcon. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. 23 yards on the play. And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. On first down, they run with Howard. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
This is Howard. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
To throw on 3rd down. Rivers. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. They come out here in the I. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. It's the fullback, his 2nd touchdown on the season, and the Browns add on to their lead. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Let's go now.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Bryant with a catch right side. The 20. 10. Touchdown. Jaguars. Martavis Bryant, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars have cut it back within a score. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts. All right, because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And his throw is incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that exit, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
It's a big play there for the Browns. 46 yards.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. and most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down.
We've been together a little while now, partner. How often do we actually describe tight ends as nifty? Because that's what I think of when I see Greg Olsen on the field. His ability to run routes, create space.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. But that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
He's going to look. He's got a man. Complete. Past the 20. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Martavis Bryant, 81 yards. And the Jaguars have taken the lead.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His second touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. So that effort gives them a 3-point cushion and guarantees that a field goal going forward won't beat them.
Yeah, that's really good strategy because that's all you care about. Not getting beat at this stage. At least give your team a fighting chance.
That's fielded in the end zone. He spins free. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And the Browns getting set to go. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them,
and the Jags get to him as down he goes. Larry Ogunjobi in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. If you talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. From the gun, Rivers dumps that off to his running back, Jordan Howard. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Taken from just outside the 30. Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position. Trailing in the 4th, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Let's go now. Go.
Here's a give to Lynch. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short. They'll run again with Lynch. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll run it. Here's Lynch, and he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation when they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well. Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the fourth quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. Finds his target. It's Gates. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on third down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. Back to the ground. Lynch. Lynch busting free. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. That good for 19 and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Now Sanchez feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Jerry Hughes. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
On any first and goal, the real estate to work with for the offense is really cut down, and the defense knows it. So they often bring heat and pressure, which they did on this play. Got him down for a loss.
And he's going to go down again. Dante Fowler in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
So once again, they dial up the pressure and get home and get a sack. It brings up a 3rd and long, but it's really not an unmakeable one, especially considering they just gave up back-to-back sacks.
The offense on 3rd down, they've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and goal. Now it's Sanchez. They'll set up the screen to Lynch. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
And Janikowski bangs it through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So they get the 3 here, but you wonder whether that's going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, you've now made it so they need a touchdown rather than a field goal to catch them. But you're right. If they'd gotten 6 out of that drive, this would be a much different game.
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And that is incomplete. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And the Jags take over in terrific field position. So the failure to convert no doubt really hurts, but this one's not over. A good chunk of time on the clock and the timeouts.
Yeah, not only do they have the timeouts, as you just noted, they're going to get an extra one with the 2-minute warning. And that's going to help them big way. So in a sense, they have 4 timeouts in their pocket. The big thing, stopping them on defense now. They can't let them get a first down and make them use their timeouts and get a fresh set of downs. They've got to stop them right here. And if so, they've still got an opportunity.
So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. They'll keep pounding here with Lynch. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now Sanchez. And this is going to be incomplete. So now it's 4th down and short, and whatever they do, run or pass it, they've got to pick up the first here.
Yeah, and you mentioned running it. That is still an option, but as you also said, they've got to do it quickly and get back to the line of scrimmage.
And Janikowski bangs it through, and that will make this a 9-point lead. So his 2nd field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. Uses the spin. Oh, and now he bowls him over.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
And caught left side, Olsen. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Noah Spence in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. Now Rivers. And the pressure gets to him again. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Ah, yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
Ah, you're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski. Okay, Oski was an interception.
For different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a
too many syllables.
Yeah. You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. Rivers on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
A second down throw for Rivers. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. Third and long for Rivers. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Jalen Collins, and they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
They'll run with Marshawn Lynch. He finds an opening past the 40, and they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you prime the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Jaguars, the great run they've been on continues as they move to 9-1 now. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, it's a bit of a setback as they drop to 6-4 now. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we say so long from Cleveland.
In your attention.